It is Sunday night, and yes, I'm wearing my Buccaneers hat. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live on a Sunday night. We got some NFL football to talk about. We also got some college football to talk about. We just wrapped up the college football playoff semifinals. It will be Bama and Ohio State for the national championship. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show tonight. We'll also get you guys on at some point. I wanted to start the show out a little differently. Figure get it hyped up. Let's get a countdown or something going. It's said non-copyrighted, and it looks like the stream is still going. So I don't own that video. I didn't make that video. So credit to whoever did upload it and said not copyrighted. I don't know. Yes, I am wearing a Buccaneers hat. That is correct. Why exactly? Oh, hold on. Well, we'll get into that a little later on. There's a certain order I want to do this. But let's go ahead and see who all is in here. What's going on? Rylan White, how you doing? Alan Altig or Striker, what's going on? What's up? Jeff Webster says, "Yo, Ballard." Yo, Jeff, how you doing, man? Glitter Michael Gator. Shannon Mitchell in the house. What's going on? Dwayne RTR. Bet UJ fans wish they had a QB like right. He never had a chance at Georgia. I'm sorry. Curry was never going to start him. I don't know why that is. I guess he's stubborn and stuck with Fromm. That just is what it is. Michael Gator. Valix Prime Sports, how you doing? What's going on? Says, what's up, Ballard? What's up, Valix? Rylan White. Alan Altig, I think we got to you guys. Appreciate everyone for showing up tonight. Love all you guys, and I appreciate you guys showing up. Happy New Year. Again, last time I'm going to say it, but it is the third day of January, and already this year's gone by, I guess, faster than 2020 did. We're now in 2021. Let's go ahead and get into some of these big topics. Here we go. I want to go ahead and talk some college hoops. I haven't really done much basketball lately, but as we get closer, as we start off this year, the beginning of the year is normally the end of the season for basketball, NFL, and college football. And, eventually, like next month, will be some baseball talk, right? We get into spring training in February. And as we get into March, late March is normally the start of the baseball season. So, but I want to go ahead. We're getting closer to March Madness, right? It's still a couple months off, but we're looking at this, and I saw something earlier today. Dick Vitale, really, really good basketball announcer, well known. I mean, saying believe the Big Ten hype, right? Believe it. We knew the Big Ten was going to be great, but even Dickie V is surprised at the league's top to bottom strength in 2020 to 2021. This, I'm quoting sources from ESPN. And there was so much, and I remember seeing stuff like this. There was so much hype about teams like Northwestern or Ohio State or Michigan or whatever, right? And there was so much talk. This posted a week ago, but I just saw it today. So much talk and hype went into the Big Ten and men's basketball, right? And there were some games here this past week in the Big Ten, around Christmas time, that week or whatever, some great games. And we talk so much about teams like Kentucky, or we focus in on let's look at conferences here. We look so closely, right? When it comes to college football, what do we look at, right? Well, we do look at the ACC a little bit. We like to make fun of Clemson. They don't play nobody. They don't dumpster fire, whatever, right? Dumpster fire conference, the ACC is. Big 12, only problem with them, they ain't got no defense. Pac 12 is mediocre. But the Big Ten and the SEC especially in football is great. Right? We look at baseball in the MLB, we look at teams. Red Sox, Dodgers, Yankees, Astros, even though they cheat, they still got great talent, right? But what about college basketball, man? We're getting close to March Madness. Who are we looking at? We're looking at the ACC. Louisville, Florida State, great teams last year, pretty good this year. It's Duke especially. Even the SEC is pretty good in basketball. You got teams in there. Auburn with Bruce Pearl. Of course, Calipari in Kentucky. Right? What about the Big Ten? What about the Big Ten in basketball, man? Holy cow. I want to look real quick. Let's look at some standings. What about the Big Ten? Who's at the top, first off, is what I want to know. I've seen a little bit of the Big Ten this year. I know I don't talk a whole lot about this, but I'm trying to get back into it, right? No divisions in basketball, but conference standings. At the top, undefeated Michigan 9-0. 4-0 in conference play, 9-0 overall, right? Ranked number 16, Illinois Fighting Illini. Shout out to Rylan White, who wanted to do a stream with me a few weeks back, talking about Illinois basketball. They're 4-1 in conference play. They're 8-3 overall, but they got a win streak of 3 games, right? You look at half the Big Ten, even a little bit more, right? Let's see. Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Minnesota, Rutgers, Northwestern, Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, Michigan State, Maryland, Penn State. So about what, 14 teams? Just like, I mean, it's the same teams as far as, you know, college football. 14 teams, and you have Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Rutgers, Northwestern, Ohio State, and Michigan State. So 14 teams, and I'm counting right here, 9 of those teams, 9 out of 14 teams are ranked. Only 5 are unranked. Nebraska, Penn State, Maryland, Indiana, and Purdue. Right? That's a heck of a conference. That's a heck of a year for the Big Ten. Right? It's going to be crazy, man. I hope it doesn't, and this isn't bias or anything. I'm not, but like, I hope we don't sit here during March Madness and hear all this Kentucky crap, you know. Oh, it's Kentucky. Kentucky doing this. John Calipari. Oh, look at Bruce Pearl and Auburn. Look at it. Let's look at some of these other teams up and coming, man. Man, this is crazy. Had some games today. Number 5 Houston in the country, 74-60 over SMU. Marcus Sasser, 17 points for Houston today. Really good game for him. Couple good rebounds. Had 2 free throws, both he made. 6 of 17 for field goals. That could have been a little better. But he led and got 17 points. Okay, that's cool. They won 74-60. Trailed by only a point, 33-32 at the end of the first half, but made up for it defensively. They got better in this game. Only gave up 27 compared to the 33 they gave up in the first half. Scored 10 more in the second half than they did the first half. 42 points compared to the 32 that they only scored in the first half. So you look at that, Houston's a pretty good team, ranked number 5 in the country. But again, need I remind people, right? And I kind of had to learn this a little bit. BVD, shout out to him because he knows quite a bit about basketball or the he follows Tennessee. Shout out to BBD too. Tennessee 6-0 undefeated, right? Number 7 in the country. Holy cow! I'm still waiting for Alabama and Nate Oates to get ranked at some point. They have gotten a few votes, a little bit, but it's not enough. Texas Longhorns 7-1. Quite a few good teams, man. The SEC is pretty good right now too. Tennessee is 6-0, ranked number 7. We mentioned them just now. Missouri 12-0 or 6-0. I'm sorry, at number 12. Well, that's it for the SEC. Kentucky's not even right. Kentucky's not having a great year. I know I just mentioned them with great teams in um I mean they're a great program, right? Calipari's done great. Give them credit. They haven't had a good year this year. Honestly, have not. But we'll see. So March Madness is coming up in a couple months. Still got a couple months. Quite a few games left to be played as we get to February and into the beginning of March. We get to the SEC, the ACC, Big Ten, Pac-12, all the tournaments, all the conference tournaments. We're going to start there and see what happens from there. Every team is going to compete in their own conference tournament and have a chance to prove themselves. You win your conference tournament or do something, have a chance maybe at the invitational round or get a top seed in the first round of like what's it start 64 or 32. So anyway, so that being said, college basketball is underway. Oh, my bad. Hit the wrong button. I'm wearing a Bucks hat tonight. Just to celebrate the Bucks getting in the playoffs, and we'll get into them a little bit later on. I know people are asking for the link in here. Rylan White, yeah, we'll get you guys on in a while, but I want to go ahead and run through these two other things I want to discuss. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Alabama and Ohio State, it is set. The stage is lit up. College football playoff national championship in Miami. Now, I'll do a special preview video for this game, like I did the semifinals, like I did like the SEC title game or a couple other games throughout this season. I'll do a special preview video and prediction for this game, probably premiere it for you guys. But I do want to go ahead and look at this, right? And again, chances are I mentioned this in the preview video, but they already got the line out. They already got the line out for this game. Bama 11-0. Or I guess it's 12-0 now. And Ohio State, like what, 7-0, 8-0, whatever it is. 7-0. January 11th, 2021. 8 days, 1 week from tomorrow night, as it is January 3rd. And we are 8 days away. Speaking of, the line is 8 points Bama. Over under is 75. Look at how small this is. Now, it's a championship. You can expect a line like this, but 8 points. That is a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, folks. Ohio State, the underdog. We expect that, right? Who's going to beat Alabama? Who's going to beat Mac Jones? Who's going to outsmart Saban? Who's going to expose that Bama? Hey, speaking of that Ole Miss game, right? The second half against Florida, they've had their close calls with this defense. So, I mean, it's been tested. It has failed at times. Bama, their defense has got to show up and defend Justin Fields. Here's the thing. I haven't been all that impressed by Ohio State's defense either. I mean, it is pretty similar. And again, I'll do a preview video. We'll mention all this, but 21 points allowed per game on average for Ohio State. Compare that. That's a little bit more than Bama, who's at 19 and a half. Fairly similar offenses. 48.2 points per game for Bama, 43.4 points per game for Ohio State. So they are pretty similar. And they got great talent. Trey Sermon, the I think Oklahoma transfer, right, for Ohio State, going up against Najee Harris. You look at comparing running backs. Garrett Wilson versus Devontae Smith and receiving yards, right? And then, of course, the big time quarterback matchup with Mac Jones and Justin Fields. A lot of people predicted this in the preseason. I had Clemson and Bama part 5. I was confident that Clemson would get back. Obviously, they failed me. I mean, they failed me. It will be a showdown between the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide next Monday night in Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, home of the Miami Dolphins. What's going on, Jerry Wells? How you doing, sir? Home of the Miami Dolphins. Will Tua show up to this game? Chances are probably so. If they're letting fans in, which I think limited attendance, chances are they're probably going to, right? It's going to be a great showdown. I think I would not be surprised if it's a shootout and Bama's defense cannot handle Justin Fields. He's that great. And honestly, I wouldn't even be disappointed. I love a good shootout. I don't want it every game. And as much as I love to see Alabama's defense be stout, be elite, be great, be on the field, and just go after it, right? As much as I love to see all that, I still, at least for a championship game, I want a thriller. I want something down to the wire, overtime, final seconds, final drive, a comeback, something huge in this game. I don't want it to just be a blowout. I don't want it to just be all one-sided affair. I don't want that in this game. I don't think you guys want it either, do you? Be real. You want a shootout. Bama fans, I know you want defense. I know you want them to blow Justin Fields out of the water and get Ohio State out of that stadium within like the first quarter, right? You want it to be over by halftime, right? I want something great in this game. I don't care if Bama, look, I'm at the point right now, I really just want Bama to win this game, being a Bama fan, right? I really just want them to win. But how do I want them to win, right? How? I just want them to win. But I want to be I want to sit there on January 11th. And I want to sit there on the edge of my seat going, yo, a nail biter or something huge, man. I want something big in this game, right? It's going to be a huge game. Expect great big plays downfield. Expect Devontae Smith to catch great passes. Expect maybe a return of Jalen Waddle. We heard rumors he could come back in the postseason. Didn't see him in the Rose Bowl game, but chances are, with the time between now and next Monday night, a week from tomorrow, maybe he could get some rehab, keep working, and maybe he could return. I don't know. Maybe he's looking at returning next season and hoping to shake off this year's injury that he had earlier in the year. We'll see. I need some water real quick. But, as much as I would love to see Bama's defense, I'll take any win. I don't care how Bama does it. I just want them to win, right? And I see you in there, Crimson Brave. How you doing? How you doing? Disagree. I want to be I say crap, but I would agree with that. You want the defense to show up, and I respect that, Bama fans. You want the defense to show up. I want that too. I just want it to be entertaining. It could be a shootout or something. I don't want it to be over by halftime. I want there to be a game. If it's defense, 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 and maybe they're having a hard time on the ball. These quarterbacks just can't get it going because somehow they can't handle these defenses. And we're seeing this whole defense wins championships narrative, and it comes down to like a field goal or something and in the 20s. Maybe it looks like something like that Georgia championship a few years ago that Alabama had, minus the whole putting a backup in, right? Something like that where you're down and you have to come back. Overtime, something huge. That's what I want to see. I think that's what a lot of people want to see. Um, so I don't know. It's going to be a great game no matter what happens. I think it's going to be great. You're looking at a quarterback in Mac Jones who has proved himself to be an elite football player, rising above the charts, rising above the draft boards. He's not quite there. I don't think he goes number one over Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is a clear lock. Going up against the second best quarterback in the draft in Justin Fields, who already proved himself in high school or whatever, right? I just wow, this is going to be great. I'll go ahead and drop the StreamYard link for you guys, but this game is going to be incredible. I want a shootout. I want something down to the wire. I just want it to be entertaining in some way, shape, or form. I don't want to sit there and be falling asleep during the game saying, "Yeah, we won." Yeah. Actually, on right there, kind of a long day, but you get it. We don't want to sleep on this game. We want it to be great. It's an 8-point spread right now. Bama favored. Bama could cover that, I think. So that being said, you know, I just want it to be a great game. Great offenses, you know, and obviously you want to see Bama's defense show up in this game and be what they've been all year long. You want you just want it to be great somehow, some way. And I think it's going to be probably the best championship we've seen in a long time. Maybe could be the best in the Saban era. Could be the best. It'll be bigger than what LSU did last year, right? Which was huge. They went up against Trevor Lawrence and they won by 17 with Joe Burrow. This will be closer than that, I think. It won't be a 17-point game, I don't think. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be close, like a 1 or 2 score game, down to the wire type of thriller. And that's what I want to see. I think it's going to be that. So, with that being said, people, this is going to be a great championship game. We're looking at something great. We're looking at something historic with Ohio State and Alabama. Alabama and Ohio State this Monday will be historic. I'm telling you that right now. Anyway, I dropped the StreamYard link if anyone wants to get on, and we'll continue on talking sports or whatever you guys want to talk about. So, that being said, there's a StreamYard link. I do want to talk real quick. Tom Brady. I'm wearing my Bucks hat for a reason. They are in the wild card. We don't know who they're playing yet. But Tom Brady has done it. He has ended the playoff drought for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have not made the playoffs since they haven't made it since 2007. And Jenna Lane, ESPN staff writer who does stuff for the NFL, mainly for the Buccaneers, I always see her post on here, said, and I quote, the Bucks wildcard game will a typo in here, but will be played on Saturday at 8:15 Eastern time. It will be against either Washington or the Giants, and we are waiting. The Giants did beat the Dallas Cowboys 23-19. Right now, Washington leads in the third quarter, almost the fourth quarter, 17-14 over Philadelphia. Right now, In fact, I'm going to try to put that game on and keep my eye on it because you guys know me. I love Jalen Hurts, but Washington leads that game right now. So anyway, I'll put the StreamYard link if y'all want to join in. That's cool, Rylan. So anyway, the drought is over for Tampa Bay, and again, they will play either the Giants or the Washington football team. I still want to call them the Redskins because I'm still getting used to that, and I just hate this whole name change thing in the NFL. I think it's stupid. I don't understand why we had to change it. But it is what it is. Do what you want with your organization. I don't care. Mac should enter this one. He's never going to be better than he is. I like Mac, but he could regress, losing the lots of receivers and all that. I could agree with that, Crimson. I honestly could. As much as I love Mac, you're losing Smitty. You're losing Mechie. Waddle, maybe he comes back. But, I mean, Slade Bolden comes back, too. But, I mean, you lose Waddle and Mechie. You lose Najee. B Rob comes back probably. Brian Robinson. Plus Bryce Young's right there. Dude, if Bryce Young doesn't start next year because Mac Jones comes back or something, I bet you Bryce Young transfers out or whatever. I don't know. Georgia on my mind. Greater than Sweet Home. Hey, whatever. Whatever. Uh Anyone wants to join, click the StreamYard link. It's up to y'all. Anyway. Put that back up. But yeah, I mean, so we covered everything. I'm looking forward to baseball getting back started up. And Bama versus Ohio State is going to be it's going to be incredible. It's going to be a showdown for the ages, I think. As far as the playoff race for the NFL, it's still kind of up for grabs right now. We're keeping an eye on the NFC East as we have the Eagles down by 3 against Washington in the third. Giants beating the Cowboys 23-19. Monsters Inc. joke right there. Not sure if you've seen that movie. Not too bad of a film. I know it's a kid's film, but I loved it growing up. Let's see. Around the league, Browns beat the Steelers 24-22. What happened to the Steelers, man? They were 10-0 a few weeks ago. They finished 12-4. Cleveland finishes up 11-5. This is the final week of the season. Wild card coming up next week. Starting this this Saturday on the 9th, the Buccaneers, again, still waiting. We have in the AFC wild card the Bills and the Colts. We got the Rams, Seahawks for the NFC wild card for one of those. We got the Saints and the Bears. So the Saints won the division in the wild card round, playing the Bears. Titans and Ravens in the AFC wildcard playoffs. Steelers and Browns in the AFC wildcard playoffs. So we got a couple games. We're still waiting just for who the Bucks are going to play next week. And I just look, if the Bucks lose next week, it's probably going to be either like Washington or the Giants, right? That's what we're looking at right now. I think one of those teams from the East. Even if they lose, Bucks fans don't hang your heads. Don't go piss and moan, cry on your pillow over this. Be happy. Be happy because we get Tom Brady back next year. And I guarantee you, this year's team, great. Next year's team, probably even better. We'll see what they do in the 2021 draft. They bring some guys back, and again, Tom Brady, it's not a franchise tag deal. He's signed up for like 2 or 3 years, right? I think 2-year deal. So don't hang your head. There's still time. There's still hope for next year. Now, here's the thing. Super Bowl. This should motivate the Bucks. In your home stadium. In your home stadium. In Tampa Bay. You were right there at the wild card game. It's going to be incredible. But even if the Bucks fail in this game, whoever they play, right? If they lose the wild card, I'm still proud of this team this year. I love my Buccaneers. I will always be a Bucks fan, through and through. No matter who the quarterback is, no matter who the coach is, I'm going to pull for this team right here. I'm from the Tampa area. I've been living in Florida like 10 years right now, 11 years, whatever it's been. And even prior to that, like, I had this small period of time in my life where I lived there for like 2 years and then moved to South Carolina, grandparents. A long story. I've lived in Florida a good bit of my life, and it's mostly been in the Tampa area anyway. I pull for the local teams, but pull for where you come from, man. I come from this, this area. So anyway, I'm just proud of the Bucks this year. I really am. So anyway, I dropped the link again. If y'all want to join in, please join in. Somebody, let's get this going. Let's talk with you guys. Bills beat the Dolphins 56-26. Uh, Dolphins had a chance to clinch today. They end up going 10-6 on the year. Tua starting this year. First year, people said he couldn't do it. People said they should sit him out a year, and he's looked terrific. Although in this game, not so much. Bills defense a bit too much for him. Could not get enough points. Or is Josh Allen in that offense too much for Miami's defense? Do they not even just they don't have one. Not in this game, at least. 56-26, lost by 30 points to the Buffalo Bills, who are 13-3. So let's see here. We have in the playoffs right now the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East 13-3. They clinched their division. Miami, New England, and the Jets all eliminated, not in the playoffs. AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers 12-4 clinched their division. Clinched a wild card. The Browns and the Ravens both 11-5. The Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow, first year rookie, 4-11, not a good year. They're eliminated. Titans clinched the division 11-5. Wild card spot for the Colts at 11-5. Watson did not have a great year with Houston. What's going on with him? I want to see him win a Super Bowl at some point. 4-12 on the year. Jacksonville Jaguars get the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes. 1-15. They're eliminated. The Kansas City Chiefs, no surprise here. Pat Mahomes lighting it up. 14-2 season. Clinched the division and a first round bye. Not in the wild card game. The Raiders, the Chargers, and the Denver Broncos eliminated from the playoffs. Looking at the NFC, Washington and New York Giants. They're battling it out right now. We're going to keep an eye on that. Green Bay clinched their division and a bye, 13-3. The Bears clinched a wild card game. They're 8-8. Detroit and Minnesota eliminated. And of course, we talked about the South. Clinched the division, the New Orleans Saints, and of course the Bucks clinched a playoff berth and a wild card. Carolina and Atlanta eliminated from the South, from the playoffs. So And then, of course, finally to the NFC West. How does this happen? Okay, I understand these two teams. Seattle, 12-4. Okay, that's cool. Clinched their division. 10-6 Rams of Los Angeles clinched a wild card. Right. Okay. Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray go 8-8. They're eliminated from the playoffs. The 49ers, last year's Super Bowl runner-up with Jimmy G, Greg Kittle. Look at the defense with Nick Bosa. All that talent. They're 6-10, eliminated from the playoffs, not even in it. So that's what you got, folks. That's what you guys got. Yeah. Apologize. Phone call. What's going on, Rylan White? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Hold on 1 second. I had to turn my computer audio. How you doing? Phone call.
Oh, sorry.
What's going on, Rylan White? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Uh,
Can you hear me?
echo off.
Hold
on 1 second.
Is there an echo?
I had to turn my computer audio. How you doing? Phone call.
Oh.
Sorry to mute you. I just I don't know what's going on here. Try to get out and then come back in if you can. I don't know what's happening with the echo, but so as we're waiting on Rylan White, if anyone else wants to get on here, I don't know. It's up to y'all. What's going on, BBD? How you doing, man? You back on, Rylan?
What happened? I was still on YouTube. So.
You sounds good now. What's going on?
Nothing. I mean, coming to talk college basketball. Love college basketball.
All right. What do you got, man? What do you see? How's Illinois doing?
Illinois got off to a good start.
Yeah.
And then they're winning, but as you see, they're getting low scores, getting off to a slow start. They're not being
not enough offense, right?
Yeah. But
yeah, I appreciate you a few months ago doing an Illinois basketball stream and giving us insight. And they are ranked right now. They're 7-3. They just moved up 3 spots to 15 in the latest poll. But yeah, I have noticed the scores and everything. I mean, it's been like they play good, but they also like somehow they do look pretty sloppy. Like I'm looking right now. Okay, 98-81. That's good against Penn State. But Indiana, 69-60, and then 66-58. Scoring in the 60s when, really in college, you want to score in like the 80s or 90s. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just the offense hasn't been really going.
Right.
So, but they play 19th Northwestern Thursday.
Who's
So,
been the best player so far this year that you've seen?
on Illinois,
Yeah.
Io DeSumo.
Which one?
Io DeSumo, guard from Chicago, number 11. He's a
Yeah.
junior.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, we were talking about him quite a bit on that stream we did. Um, and he seems like a really good player. He's a junior too, so he'll
Yeah,
be in the NBA in a few years, and I'm sure he'd be a really good prospect people would want.
yeah. He was, I think he was co-Big Ten basketball player of the year. First is Luca Garza, which leads the NCAA in points. So,
Right. Yeah. Well, that's really good for him. Um, has he has he missed any games this year,
Io,
or has he played every week?
he's played every game.
That's pretty good. I mean, you Illinois right now, and again, I'm not trying to rip on them, but they haven't, from what I have seen, I've seen a little bit of them. They haven't looked all that great, but they also haven't looked all that bad. And he's definitely kind of held the team together. Would you say?
Yeah, he has. Him and Kofi, they
Hmm.
came back for another year. They declared and then came back. So I'm glad that they're back helping this team get better because this team is better than last year's team
Yeah.
by far.
Well, you bring back experienced guys and bring in a couple new guys that are. I'm sure they were like highly talented recruits that you guys picked up. But I mean that happens in basketball. I mean, you get new recruits, but also you bring back like Bama this year brought back like Kyra Lewis or whoever. Um, or no, I'm sorry, Kyra went to the draft, but I mean they still brought guys like Herb Jones or whoever back who have just gotten better, and I'm impressed with what I've seen from Bama so far this year. I mean, a couple games here or there that haven't gone their way, kind of like Illinois, but like you know, you bring guys back with experience, which is always great. Um, but I mean, you also got to work with the new guys, I think, because at some point those guys are going to leave, and you still want to be a talented team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have Adam Miller. He's a top. He was a top 30 recruit out of Chicago. He actually played on a high school team with Io DeSumo and won a high school championship. So he's his first game he scored like 28 points, and then the last 7 games and he's averaging 9 points per game.
Yeah,
And then Andre Curbelo, he's top 50. He was top 50 recruit.
he's from Puerto Rico. He's a freshman. Yeah.
He's really good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure, man. I'll have to watch a little bit more of Illinois basketball. Who do they have next? Let's see.
They have Northwestern Thursday and then Maryland Sunday.
I probably work it when they play. I don't know. I recently got a new job, so Northwestern this Thursday at 9. Let's see. Well, I'll be
It's
good
on.
then. I work 11 to 3 on Thursday, so I should be good at 9 o'clock to watch that game. I'll have
It's
to
on.
check it out, man. I'm gonna set some alerts for that game real quick. But yeah, I'll have to watch a little bit more because I mean you're talking about this team and yeah, I'm looking at the statistics and everything, and Illinois looking like a really good team this year, man. And
Yeah,
they have a good chance at the Big Ten tournament and hopefully the NCAA tournament this year, man.
yeah. And then you see who they've lost to. They've lost to number 2 Baylor.
Yeah,
They've
that's not a bad loss. Number 2 team in the country.
yeah. Let me see what Rutgers is ranked right now. 14th Rutgers.
Yeah,
Still, it's a bad loss. And then let's see here.
keep your eye real quick. I'm looking at their schedule. The 16th. Now Ohio State's ranked the 25, but a ranked team's a ranked team, and even if they like lose the next couple games or so and fall out, Ohio State hasn't looked too bad this year.
Yeah,
That'll be an interesting game, I think, for Illinois.
and then they've also lost to 12 Missouri. So all top 15 teams they've lost to this year. So it isn't
So it's been
bad.
top. So their losses have been good losses then, right? Like
Yes.
top 15 type of teams, right? I
Yes.
mean, so that's not bad. See, okay, number 13 at the time, Rutgers, or 19 Rutgers at home, uh, pulls off a good win over Illinois, 91-88. Okay, so that's not a bad loss. You know,
Yeah.
ranked teams in basketball, like we even if like top 25 matchup in college football, right? Your team loses on the road in a blowout as a ranked team to a ranked team, uh bad loss, right? But I'm not going to sit here and say you'll take any loss against a top 25 team, but don't hang your head over it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to win in basketball sometimes. I mean, it really is, especially against those teams. But if you can compete, just give yourself a pat on the back for even competing. But Illinois looked pretty good.
I watched the number 10 Iowa versus 14 Rutgers, and you know how it like shows up a little thing above the score sometimes, like a status note.
Oh yeah,
It said Rutgers at home have never lost since February 2nd, 2020. So that's, I
like
mean,
almost a year coming up in a
yeah.
month.
So that's pretty good. Plus, the racket, which that's their, I guess, arena,
Yeah.
is that's very hard to play in.
This just in, the Washington Eagles game still going on, and Jalen Hurts is on the bench. Nate
Really?
Sutfield, not Carson Wentz. Nate Sutfield comes in the game for Philadelphia. I'm going to watch the final minutes of this game here. And the first, oh my gosh. Chase Young picks up a fumble. Bad snap. Look, you basically made a mistake already. Hold on. Sutfield comes in the game. Do you pay much attention to the NFL, Rylan?
Yeah, I watch it sometimes.
Hold on. Watch this. Watch this. I'm going to put that there. Look at that. Really bad
Wow.
down to the ground snap.
You
And
got
just
a call on that.
that. Watch this snap. Look at this. Could
That
have
is
just
terrible.
grabbed it. I mean, that was insane. Oh,
Wow.
man.
Which I'm
Chase
a
Young, the
huge,
rookie, picked it up.
yeah. I'm a huge Cowboys fan, so
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
How's your year going?
Uh, well,
Uh, uh,
today,
are you still them boys?
no,
Just wanted to make sure. I mean,
no. But you've also got to take in uh Dak Prescott
right. I
didn't
mean,
play.
yeah, Dak Prescott. At least you guys got Jason Garrett out, but you bring in Mike McCarthy now. I don't think it's that bad of a hire. I mean, he wasn't too bad with the Packers or whatever, but I don't
Yeah.
know. There's just the Cowboys is one of those organizations, where it's Jerry Jones. It's Jerry Jones. I mean, what else do you want me to say about it?
Yeah.
So
Another team to like watch out for that might make a run in the NCAA bracket or whatever, March Madness,
yeah.
Minnesota.
Oh yeah. I've seen a little bit of them.
Illinois did
I
beat,
at least I don't see them when they're on, but I see highlights of some of these games.
yeah.
Minnesota doesn't look too bad.
Illinois did beat them by 30, but I'd still
Right.
watch out for them.
Yeah.
because I think they only have like maybe one loss, maybe two, probably two.
Right. Feel free to join the stream, anybody. I'll put the link again there. And we're really just talking some basketball with my good friend Rylan White, who's an Illinois what's it? Fighting Illinois? Is that how you say it?
Fighting Illini.
Illini. Yeah, it's close, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, do you follow like the women's basketball and that too, or just really the men's?
No, I don't follow the women's. I follow the men's.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not against it, but I don't know. When we talk 20, like I hear Feinbaum say all the time, meanwhile, in the top 25, and it's in March. So what's he talking about? Well, he's talking about men's basketball. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
8:20 to go, 17-14. Philadelphia still trails by 3. So anyway, I'm just going to chill out. I'll turn the camera off. We'll just talk. What's up, Billy Ball? What's up,
So,
Striker? How you doing?
yeah. Could you explain to me why Gigi, Crimson Brave, and Pizza Woman are going after Celine Driver?
I don't know. I'm not paying too much attention to the comments. What are they saying?
They're saying stuff about how one time in Lou's stream,
Pick is good.
Crimson was talking trash about Florida, and he blocked or hidden all of Crimson Brave's accounts
Yeah.
and stuff.
I think after this drive here, well, looks like Washington just kicked a field goal to extend the lead or whatever. But I think after that fumble that Nate Sutfield could not recover, I think maybe you stick with Jalen Hurts just a little bit, you know. Or maybe you throw Carson Wentz out. That's crazy. This is an interesting game, too. This Washington Eagles game.
Did they take Jalen Hurts out or did he get injured?
I don't think he got hurt. I would have got an alert and said something, I think. I think they just took him out. He's not having his best performance. He's really not.
Gotcha. I mean, I got a like score update. They said that he had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. I didn't know.
Yeah.
What happened?
J-Dub, what's up?
Yes, I don't know. I clicked off the Monday night game. I'm just now getting back to it. But yes, Hertz did score twice on little 7 or 8 yard runs in the first half where he was back to pass and he just kind of scrambled and got free and scored. He did that twice.
Yeah. I mean, it still wasn't enough. I mean, you're still, well, then again, I mean, it's 20-14. I mean, that's 6 points. So you can't really say much that he, you know, is doing bad, is he? I mean, unless maybe the past couple drives, because I haven't seen all of this game. I kind of just turned it on. I saw a little bit of the beginning. But how about Alex Smith, man? I mentioned this earlier. Alex Smith returning this year after what happened a season or two ago. He looked like he could never play football again.
They thought he might die.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, they had what's the word? Amputate or whatever the heck?
Yeah.
I'm like, leg. Shoot.
Yeah, they said he might die. So that's crazy.
Credit to Alex Smith, man. I remember he was with the Chiefs for a while, and then they took Mahomes and got rid of the guy.
I got
him up.
the start of the game. They showed the Comcast building in downtown Philadelphia, which is about, I don't know, 45, 50 stories tall, and it was all lit up. And Al Michaels just made the quip that you can see it from about 40 miles away. That's a very, very interesting comment that he made, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
My sister and her family live in Covington, Maryland,
Right.
which is the outer ring of Baltimore suburbs on the north side. They are about 40 miles from Philadelphia.
Yeah. Where it is 36 degrees right now. They're showing the temperature in this game.
And she told me once that from the upstairs of their home, they have a big 2-story house.
Right.
That looking north, they can see the Comcast building in Philadelphia, and they're like 40 miles away. So Al Michaels said that, and I said, you know what? There's a whole bunch of people watching this telecast that just kind of that comment just kind of went over their head. But he was exactly right, because I know my own sister has said that's true. She can see the buildings in Philadelphia, or at least that building, from where she lives, and yet she's still in a suburb of Baltimore. That's how close Baltimore and Philly are.
Yeah, really close.
I know
I'll tell you what, that Ohio State player, Chase Young, who was drafted number 2 overall to the Redskins, dude, I was just seeing some highlights of what he's done so far tonight. He is a beast. He's just fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't – no quarterback can get away from that.
He's on the line, and then 2 Alabama players, Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, are on the line, and then I can't think of the fourth one, but they're all 4 first-round draft choices playing on the defensive line for Washington.
And they're doing great.
See, it was funny because at one time, Hurts hits Cam Sims with a pass, and you've got Cam Sims catching the pass from Jalen Hurts, who was being pressured from Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. So you had 4 Alabama players on the field at the same time.
Yeah. Well, Cam Sims actually is on Washington. He's not.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Alex Smith hit him, I think. Alex Smith.
Yeah, Alex Smith hit him. So I was thinking, okay, that's 4 Alabama players that are playing tonight. I don't know how many others are on the team that I don't know they are on the team.
Oh, you remember Hale Hinches?
Yeah.
He's on the Washington football team roster.
He is? He made the squad?
Yeah. He was with the
Colts a couple
years ago. I didn't even realize they picked him up. Man, how many did they get? Robert Foster?
Foster, yeah.
They got the Bucks used to have a running back from Auburn, Peyton Barber, who's pretty good. They got him. They got Rosh Pierce-Baker. Remember that talented offensive lineman?
Oh, yeah, Ross is from Iowa. Yep.
Dude, they got all kinds of guys. Daron Payne, Jonathan Allen. I guess that's about it.
Yeah, Pierce-Baker was what? I think the Redskins drafted him, what, in the 5th round?
Which guy? Pierce-Baker?
Yeah, didn't he go to Washington?
I thought he was with like the Chiefs at one point or something. Maybe he did go.
I thought he went in the 5th round. I can't remember where he went to.
He did go in the 5th round, I think.
I know that at week 1.
No, he was drafted. It was the 5th round of the 2019 draft. So not this past year, but 2 years ago by the Redskins. Yeah. So they did take him. I kept thinking he went to like the Chiefs or something, but I guess not. I guess him up. That's crazy. And they are loaded with Bama players all around, offense and defense.
Well, when the season started, week 1, there was a meme that came out that showed how many players from each college are in the NFL.
Right.
And number 2 was LSU, that they had 42 players active on week 1 this season. Alabama was number 1 with 57.
Right.
And at one time, I think it was week 3. It was week 3 or week 4, because it was in late September, early October. Another meme came out that showed the names and the year they were drafted. There were, not counting kickers and punters, all 22 positions, there was at least one Alabama player who started that week.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Buccaneers, they have we still have OJ Howard, the tight end.
He's out for the year. Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't really had that great of a season. He started out he didn't really like his first year wasn't all that great, but gave him a couple years and he looked really, really good. But this year's been a really down year for him. He's been hurt. He's just, I mean, you got to take it to account that Tom Brady's going to throw to like Braid or Gronkowski's, who the tight ends he's been going to this year. So even when he hasn't really seen the field, even if he's healthy. But yeah, now he's hurt and he's out. But I mean, yeah. He was still a good tight end when we had him at Bama.
Let's see the chat here. I need to make sure I shout out who's in the chat. I see the bet. I see Matty Sims, the Undertaker, Crimson Braves on board.
Yeah.
Pizza Woman, or the new chat babe. She's here.
Yeah, Glitter Michael Gator.
Yep, GG's here.
The bet.
Florida
JW.
had their best year in recent memory, and all Celine does is incessantly whine about Tom Grantham the entire season. Here's what you need to know about the state of Florida. If you do not count the Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
Right.
the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and all the college teams, loser.
Right. Even Miami.
Disaster football season, pro and college, for the entire state of Florida, with the exception of the Buccaneers.
Right. And you know what's so funny too is Florida, even still today, really, really good football recruits for college football teams to go get. And I mean, like you're basically looking at we're a high school football state right now down here. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the recruits.
And I don't know if you said anything or not, Ballard, but how about a shout out to King Henry the Beast?
Yeah, man. Those Titans, I'm telling you. What's going on? I see John Ivory in here. Now that name is that from Touchdown Alabama magazine, John Ivory, that Stephen Smith's always talking about? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know, but good to see you in here, sir. But yeah, Derrick Henry and the Titans, man. I'm telling you. I mean, how has Henry not gotten an MVP yet? I think he deserves it this year, don't you think?
Well, it's going to be him or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the top two leading candidates.
Rodgers has got 70% completion, 48 touchdowns, but I don't know how you overlook 22 or 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
Maybe they do co-MVPs. Now I don't like that. I'd rather have Henry lose it than have to share it. I think you have to have a winner, unless it's just absolutely insane where two guys are just, and maybe that's the year, because these are the two guys who really are clearly ahead above everybody else. And Pizza Woman is absolutely correct. Hashtag Smitty for Heisman.
Yeah.
The Slim Reaper has got to win the Heisman.
Maybe what they could do is why not give it to Smitty, who can go on a reverse play, somehow give it to Mac Jones, who can give it to Najee, who can run it in the trophy case. You know what I mean?
I think the Heisman weight, somebody can Google this and find out. It's a heavy ass trophy. I think it weighs like 12 pounds or something like that.
I got to find out how much that weighs. Hold on.
This bronze, it's real heavy. And you see these big, strong guys struggle to pick it up.
Heisman.
You see the guys in the NHL skating with the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup weighs almost 40 pounds.
Ceremony. Oh, the ceremony's this Tuesday. You know that? This Tuesday at 7:00 Eastern time.
Is that what they announced?
The Heisman Trophy's 45 pounds, it says.
45 pounds. Wow.
Holy crap. It is, here we go. Trophy is made out of cast bronze.
Yeah,
13 and a half inches tall, 14 inches long, 16 inches in width, and 45 pounds. Dang.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's a big trophy, man.
Yeah.
See, they need to give it to the guy with the strongest arms just so they can hold it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, get the guys in the weight room. That's why they're in the weight room, so they can lift that trophy up. Pizza Woman says, play the new Haas video. I think I'm subscribed to Haas. I haven't watched a whole lot of him, but what did he say this time?
Do you guys watch the NBA at all?
I
haven't seen a whole lot this year, honestly.
I do not. I absolutely revile the NBA. I hate it.
Gotcha. I don't really watch much. I'm a huge Stephen Curry fan. He scored 56 tonight.
Oh, that's wild. He's a hell of a player.
Here's a new.
I mean, I can't say that. I mean, I do pay attention. You know, I know who's good and who does things. You know, but in the early '80s and when Jordan was with the Bulls, I followed it. But now the game is completely different. Now it's not the same. It's all clear outs and one-on-ones now. It's all 3-pointers, centers. Nobody has a true center anymore. It's just a completely different game. Same thing with basketball, college basketball. I used to really follow college basketball, man. I could tell you who the starting five were for like 10 different college teams. But after about 2007, 2008, they put the one and done in, and now guys are in and out. They transfer out, they go 1 year and they're gone. And it just completely, to me, it completely changed the game, and I don't like it anymore.
Hey, J-Dub, of course you follow all this news pretty closely, but are you one of the Bama fans right now that are pissed off about Sark leaving Alabama? Or are you sitting there and you're like me saying I'm pulling for Texas and hoping that he has a good coaching career?
Am I pissed? No, because this is the 6th coordinator that has left Alabama in the last 10 years. I mean, right. So we're used to having coordinators leave. Now, I liked Sark when he was at Bama, and he's going to be there for the Natty, I suppose. I haven't heard anything different.
Yeah, I heard that he was going to stay for the Natty and then resume his duties and try to get to work on Texas.
Yeah. Now, once he gets to Austin, I want him to burn in hell.
Right.
Then he becomes the enemy. He's no longer on our team, and you might wish him well, Christian Ballard, with your nice little Christian life. And like, oh, I wish him well. No, I don't wish him well. Burn and go to hell. You're no longer with Alabama, therefore you're the enemy.
Well, I mean, here's how I view it, though. I mean, Sark is a great coordinator. He's a great offensive mind, and I think he's good enough that he deserves to be a head coach somewhere. Now, are you upset because it's Texas that he went to, or is it the fact that
I'm not upset. I'm upset that he left. I'm not mad that he left because, schools come in and pick coordinators away from Saban. It happens. You just knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when. What I don't want is I don't want him taking any recruits with him. That guys that he recruited and they go, oh, I'm going to go play for him instead of going to Bama because Sark was the reason I was going to Bama. So I don't want us to lose players because of him, and I don't want him to be sitting in Austin 2, 3, 4 years and guys that we might have got because Herman was there and they didn't want to play for Herman. Now they'll go there and play for Sark. That's what I don't want. I don't want Sark going to Austin to hurt Alabama.
Right.
Now, he himself, I mean, of course I wish him well. I mean, I don't want the man to die or anything. That's not like that. It's just that he's now not our guy. Therefore, you're not helping us. Therefore, I'm not rooting for you.
And the coaching search and carousel for coordinators for Alabama resumes. I mean, we're back to square one. Now we got to find a new coordinator who's going to last 2 or 3 years, and then we got to find another.
And somebody will come and pick him off, right?
Right. Yep. Yeah, here's how I view it. I mean, if Nick Saban and give credit to Bryce Young. He's going to be great next year, no matter who's in charge. I'm sure he's going to do great. He's a very highly rated 5-star recruit. But now it's, I don't know. Now we got to deal with a new coordinator, and who knows what it's going to look like. You know what I mean?
Right. And we're losing some key pieces. So yeah, next year will not be. Yeah, I mean,
picking off our coordinators 2021.
Next year will be more of a struggle offensively for us because just you're putting in a whole new regime. You're starting with a whole bunch of new players in different places. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to all of a sudden we're not going to do an LSU. That's not going to happen. But I mean, we will take a step back. Clemson will take a step back without Trevor Lawrence. I don't care how well ukulele plays. Without Etienne and Lawrence, they're going to take a step back. Are they going to disappear? No, they're just going to take a step back.
Right.
It happens. I mean, you can't. It's not. Saban has said this all the time. He said it every year that he's been there.
Right.
You're wearing the same helmet. You're the same school. You're the same university. You're still the Crimson Tide. But you're a different team. Right. Every year's a different team. The 2011
no matter who you bring, no matter who you bring back, you can bring every player back. It's still something's going to be different.
Right. That's what he has always said.
Yeah. New year, new team, always, man. I'm telling you. Zach, the Purdue fan, says Purdue needs a new defensive coordinator and a lip. If people want Herman's DC, no thanks. Supposedly, according to statistics, Texas had a worse defense than Purdue. Well, Purdue's in the Big Ten, and the Big 12 doesn't have defense. So, I mean
Tom Herman. Tom Herman is not going from the head coach at Texas to the defensive coordinator in West Lafayette. That's just not
That's
happening.
What we need to do, Crimson, is promote Charlie Strong and get Pete Golding out of there.
Yes, Crimson Brave is right.
Next year's defense will be dominant, especially if we promote a guy like Charlie. Why not? Charlie Strong, I think, should have been the coordinator for the defense to begin with. I mean, now I give credit for that turnaround after all this, but, come on. Pete Golding.
And I want to go on the record as saying I am nervous as hell about the Natty. I was saying, I want to play Ohio State more than I want to play Clemson. I think Ohio State would be an easier team to beat. I still think that. But Ohio State looked very impressive Friday night. Now, the one thing that I can say is this, and I don't know if I'm going to be right or not, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
That's just about as good as Ohio State can play.
Of course.
I mean, they had the dial up to 100 and they played 105. I mean, they can't look any better than that. And we didn't look anywhere near as good as what we can look.
Right.
So I think it comes down to which defense can get one or two more stops of the other team's offense. And I trust our defense to get one or two more stops against their offense than their defense against our offense. And that might make all the difference. And you might be looking at a 34-28, 35-31,
right,
something like that.
I think that it could be, and I said this earlier when I was just going on about the game, I would love to see a good shootout. I would also love to see Bama just dominate the crap out of Ohio State. But look, Ohio State is going to put some points up. There's no way around that. The question is, can Bama's defense at some point contain that? Whether it be early on or late in the game, hopefully late in the game or whatever, to the point that you're not letting them, take the game and control it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, at this point, I don't care if it's 10-7 or 52-51. Just give me the win.
Here's some news real quick on Derrick Henry. Has become the 8th player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. He joins the category of guys like Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, Terrell Davis, Jamal Lewis, Adrian Peterson, O.J. Simpson, Chris Johnson. So he's joining a great group of guys, Derrick Henry. I mean, he's making some history this year with Tennessee.
Yeah, I didn't Eddie George have 2,000 yards for the Titans one year?
I'm not sure, honestly. Fair catch at about the 8-yard line. So Eagles are going to get this ball back with 56 seconds down by 6 in the
At their
game.
own 8-yard line.
Yeah, and I guarantee you they're probably not going to put Hurts back in. They're probably going to stick with Sutfield. I don't know. They got to do something here. Come on, Eagles.
Why was Hurts out? Did he get hurt?
No, he was just not
Ineffective?
doing it.
It says he's 7 for 20 for 72 yards, 1 interception.
It's not good. Not a good night for him. Chase Young, man, I mean, he puts some good pressure. Jalen Hurts hasn't faced a whole lot of pressure this season since he's took over.
Nope, he's not.
It's Sutfield.
Yeah, I don't care really who the quarterback is for Philadelphia. They don't have anybody to throw the ball to.
Right. They've lost a few key receivers. I mean, they've had guys in the past couple of years like Aguilar or Deshaun Jackson or whoever, but I mean, it's still been tough. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to see what happens here. 50 seconds as they go out of bounds and stop the clock on a 2nd and 4 from it looks like the 14-yard line.
Well, is 7-9 Washington going to win the NFC least?
I don't know.
Travel to that town on the other side of the water from Clearwater Beach. Let's see.
It looks like it. I mean, if Washington wins this.
The pewter uniform Bucks, who used to wear Cheeto vomit and now wear pewter.
Yeah, right. It's a better shade of orange, I think. At least compared to what it was. Almost intercepted there. That would have just sealed the game. They truly, if they're going to Nate Sutfield over Carson, they have truly given up on Carson Wentz completely. These Eagles, I'm telling you, he's gone.
Even in uniform. Wentz isn't even in uniform, so
yeah, right. Is he even at the game? Do we know?
Yes, he is. They just show him.
Yeah. He's just wearing like a team jacket or something. 4th and 4 with 38. This is to keep the game going. Sutfield gonna run. He got the first down. So it ain't quite over, but they don't have timeouts. So I think they need to spike it here and try to come up with a big play. They need to hurry the crap up. 20 seconds left.
Was anybody watching the Tennessee game? That was a crazy, wild ending.
Why aren't they just going to spike the ball? It's incomplete anyway, but you got 11 seconds. What were you saying, Jeff?
I said, did anybody besides me watch the ending of the Tennessee game? That was crazy.
I did not watch it. I missed that.
I watched, what was that, 4:25 Eastern time. Was that morning or afternoon game?
It was afternoon, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the late games.
Gotcha.
Doesn't want to come back due to his rocky relationship with Doug. Yeah, I would agree with that. It's kind of weird between them right now. Whole Hurts thing. 6 seconds, going to be 3rd and 10 now. That was a crappy throw, too, by Sutfield. I don't even know what that was.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
BSM.
I'm going to see what happens here on this final play, but it does. Yeah, Washington's going to win it. I can't believe ESPN's always ahead of the live game.
Washington will host Tampa Bay because they won the division. So Tampa Bay has to go on the road.
We got to play the road. It doesn't even matter. I mean, this whole division is down for the NFC East.
Yeah.
Well,
I was
now
talking with Bucks fans the other day in the Bucks Facebook group, and I asked them. I said, "Hey, who do y'all think we're gonna get?" And they said it's probably gonna be Washington. But yeah, that's what it looks like. 20-14, the final score. Congrats, Washington Redskins. You won the East.
and
And a
Bad
terrible.
Dog Sports is upset because his Giants didn't make the playoffs at 6-10. Oh well, too bad, Bad Dog.
Yeah.
Well, the first 3 picks of the draft are set. The
Yeah.
Jaguars pick first, the Jets pick second, the Dolphins pick third.
Dolphins picking third, man. I
Well,
mean,
they have it from a trade. They got it some kind of a trade pick.
okay. So that would I was trying to figure that out because I'm like, you're a 10-6 team. I know you didn't make the playoffs, but I mean, you're 10-6. So that
Yeah.
okay, so it's all a trade. Plus
Yeah, for
whatever I guess whatever pick they got goes to I'm not even sure who they traded with.
Yeah, somehow that pick ended up being elevated to the third pick. And I think I don't quote me. I think, but I'm not sure that Atlanta has number 4.
Yeah.
I want Fields.
Everybody does, I'm sure. Anyone would kill to have him. Not going to say over Trevor Lawrence, but I mean, Trevor Lawrence has to go number 1. Look, it should just be written. You should lock every player for the Jaguars and say, look, I'm sorry, but if you pick anyone outside Trevor Lawrence, everything that Kuiper has said, Tom McShay, I mean, it's just going to be chaos if you don't take him. God forbid that you pass up Trevor Lawrence. like they're basically in a position where it's like, due to mock drafts and everything, we have no choice. We'll take Fields instead of Lawrence. No, you won't. No one's going to try to take Fields over Lawrence. I don't care who won that game. Let's be real. Lawrence is a far better talent than Fields, and that's not
Far.
Okay, it's close. Fine, it's close, but
Why are you wasting your time talking about Justin Fields? He's not even going to be the number 2 quarterback. Zach Wilson out of BYU is going number 2. Fields is going to fall to the bottom of the first round.
Right. Who would the Jets get then? Well, I guess
Justin Fields is the next Dwayne Haskins.
Oh my gosh. You mean like he's going to get screwed?
No, as in like he's not going to do anything.
Be a bust.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, because it was what was it last year? Or was it 2 years ago they took Haskins? I think 2 years.
Washington took Haskins.
Yeah.
In 2019.
Has Lawrence declared yet? I don't think he's declared, but writing's on the wall. I mean, he's going to declare at some point. Let's see, Trevor. What's up, Zach, the Purdue fan? How are you?
What's up, Ballard? Doing good. My Bears made the playoffs today somehow. I'm happy.
How about the Bears? The Bears.
The Bears. Thanks to the
we backed our way in, but I'll take it.
yeah. Well, thanks to the
not be in.
You guys see this here? I'm fixing to share it. Hold on, this is hilarious. Not this crap. Hold on.
yeah, it's advertisement.
Pretty sure everyone saw this.
Poor Trevor needs to shave his stash.
I did see this. That was hilarious.
Poor Trevor needs to shave his mustache. I can't believe a reporter said that.
They forgot
didn't
that
even
he
realize
doesn't even have.
she didn't realize she was unmuted, but even if, why say that?
What did she say?
She
Poor
says that
Trevor
Trevor
needs
needs
to
to
shave
shave
his
his mustache.
because he had a mustache and it looked terrible. And a reporter just straight up said, "Trevor needs to shave his mustache." Like, look here, lady. I would have slapped her for that. I, just be real. I mean, wow,
Lawrence is a baby face. He doesn't look like he could grow a mustache.
Yeah.
right? I think he should cut his hair just because Jalen Hurts had to cut his dreads a few years ago. And when he cut his dreadlocks, he looked cooler. So, you know what,
If Trevor
Trevor? It might
Lawrence cut his
help.
hair, it'd be a travesty.
Oh, yeah, it would. I could imagine it now. Be,
See,
people be
Ballard just put a picture in my head. It's hard to imagine.
yeah.
If Bears make the playoffs all because of it, thanks to a Rams team that didn't have arguably their best wide receiver and a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
No Goff and no Cooper Kupp.
Right?
The Bears made the playoffs, and the Vikings and the Cowboys didn't. So that makes it a good year for me.
What'd you say?
I said the Bears are in the playoffs, and the Vikings and the Cowboys aren't. So I can live with that.
Yeah, and the looks like the Packers got a division and a bye.
Yeah, because Chicago will play New Orleans. The Bears are the 7th seed, and New Orleans is being the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And then Green Bay gets the lowest remaining seed out of the winners.
Yeah. I don't I work tonight, but from what I understand, I'm not supposed to work until I guess Wednesday or whatever, but I started a new job last week. It's going pretty good so far.
That's good.
Yeah. What is you will so okay. At what point do we look at Clemson? Like, is it like the next natty they win? Are we going to call them a dynasty or whatever? Because they're not a dynasty right now, right? Are we clear to say that?
I think they're not a dynasty.
Thank God. I mean, look, I'm not even trying to make that's not insult or anything, but a
No, not at all.
dynasty, great program, yes. Premier top team, yes. But
Yeah, hell of a
just
football team.
yeah. But a dynasty is like
No.
Bama, they're a dynasty. They've won
Oh yeah, of course.
5 in 10 years or
Yeah.
11, whatever it is. They won like half a decade. And
Yeah.
Clemson's won 2. Sure, it's been like 2 of the last 4 or whatever it is, but
I say if they win 3 out of the last 4, then you can say they're a dynasty.
I think this if if they beat Bama in another championship, let's say Ohio State wins this year, right?
Okay.
Ohio State is the defending champs next year, which
Right.
would mean that Bama and Clemson still both have 2 titles in the playoff era. They're still tied up. Well, they're still 2-2 against each other since the playoff era began. Let's say they meet in next year's title game and Clemson beats them and beats Bama. Guess who? Guess who owns the playoff era and everything? Clemson. They overtake Bama, which is something that no one's done since Saban's been at Bama. You can beat them, but they just have not really owned them or overtaken them in any category. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe that's when we start to call them a dynasty, or maybe I don't know.
Now you said they won 2 out of the last 4. I say if they would have won this year, which would have been 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5, something like that, then I think you'd call them the dynasty.
Basically, just whenever they win their next title.
Yeah.
Under Sweeney, though. I mean, if we
Yeah.
Well, here's how you look at it. Counting this year.
Yeah.
You go back for the last 12 years. Bama's won 5 titles. They've lost 2 natties. They're playing in their 8th championship game in 12 years. Of the 4 years they did not play in the championship game, 2 of those 4, they played in the semifinal.
Right.
So 10 out of the last 12 years, only 2010 and 2013 and 2019, those are the only 3 years in which Alabama was not at least playing in the semifinal.
Right.
Now that is a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clemson has to double what they've done to be counted with Alabama.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's
What
got to be.
they've done has been great. What they've done has been great. It's been very impressive, but it's
Of course.
half what Alabama has done.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Agreed.
I agree to agree. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean, look, Saban. I mean, just look at this decade. He won 5. I guess this year's like in 11 or whatever. But like, you count it 5 and 10. Half a decade has gone to Nick Saban in Alabama, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a dynasty. If you win like half a decade, a decade's 10 years. You win 5 out of 10. That's something.
Oh yeah.
And
Of course.
top recruiting classes year in and year out in the top 5 or in the top 3, number 1 or number 2, you keep recruiting. And when people see you have a bad year, like take last year, right?
Yeah.
10-2, that's not Alabama.
No.
But then this year, man, they go from a 10-2 season, 11-2 if you want to count the bowl win over Michigan,
Yeah.
to now they're undefeated and in the playoffs
Uh-huh.
and in the championship and could potentially win it next Monday night, a week from tomorrow.
Which that will be a really good game, I think, by the way.
Hey, again, I said it earlier. I would not be surprised if it is a shootout. And as much
Oh, it
as
will be.
I would love to see, I want Bama's defense to have a great game and be what they've been the past few weeks. But at the same time, I want a thriller down to the wire shootout.
Oh yeah.
Either way, I think Bama fans are just at the point like just get the trophy, just win it. I don't care how you do it, just win the game.
Of course. And especially with a game where you have 2 high-power offenses like Alabama and Ohio State, the main X factor is whose defense is going to show up to play.
Right. I think Bama's defense has been better than Ohio State's. It has. I'm not saying it's been the best in the country because that's definitely not it. But it has been better than Ohio State's, and they got better players and better talent on defense than Ohio State does. And I think that Bama's defense has a better chance of getting to Fields than Ohio State's defense does of getting to Mac Jones. That's not saying that Mac Jones is better than Fields. That's just saying that defensively, Bama has the edge, and they are better.
Just got a notification from ESPN on my phone about the updated draft order.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do we have? Because I haven't gotten any. I haven't really checked.
So, Ballard, you're a Buccaneers fan, right?
Yeah, where are we at?
27th.
As of right now?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously all that's...
That's the FPI's projection for pick numbers 19 through 32.
Yeah. Wow.
J-Dub, our Bears are sitting at 20th.
We still got to wait on the postseason games, too.
Who's 4 and 5?
What do you say?
Who's 4 and 5? I know who the first 3 are.
Who's 4 and 5? Okay, let's see. So the Falcons are at 4 and Cincinnati Bengals are at 5.
All right, so Atlanta did get to 4. Okay.
And then 1, 2, 3 is, of course, Jacksonville, Jets, and Dolphins via the Texans.
Right. Okay, so let's look at that. Jacksonville takes Lawrence.
Yes.
The Jets.
You would think.
Jets will probably take Fields.
No, the Jets are going to stay with Darnold and might go with a position player, because you got the Jets. If they're happy with Darnold, then you got the Dolphins. They're not going to draft a quarterback. Atlanta might draft a quarterback. Cincinnati's not going to draft a quarterback.
No, because they're sitting pretty with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm curious who's available for Chicago at 20.
Where are the Titans sitting right now?
The Titans are sitting at 24th.
And the Buccaneers, we're still waiting on the Bucks because of the whole wild card thing and all that, right? Because they could still make a run and maybe they get a chance at the Super Bowl in their home stadium. And if that's the case, they'll either be 31 or 32, depending on the outcome of the Super Bowl.
Don't forget that.
Yeah. See, I'm over here thinking, why does the playoffs have anything to do with draft order? And I completely forgot about Super Bowl being 31 and 32.
Right. And then you have like the conference runner-ups at like, I guess 29 and 30. And then, of course, 25 through 28 is normally like the divisional round, runner-ups that didn't make it to conference.
Because this article has the FPI's power index projections for 19 through 32.
Yeah. Here we go. Quick links.
I'm going to say don't sleep on Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yes.
They
are a team who can make a deep run into these playoffs.
They're one NFL team that they're a 2 seed, and everybody's talking about everybody else but them.
The Niners are at 12, 6 and 10.
Yeah, they're a team. They're like Purdue last year, hit with injuries all over the place.
How about this? Carolina 5 and 11 at 8, Denver at 9, 5 and 11. So you have the Cowboys at 10, and then right behind them the Giants, both 6 and 10. You have Cowboys at 10, Giants at 11.
Cardinals at 16. They're not a bad team.
And we're still waiting on 19 through 32.
Because those are
playoff. Yeah.
Those are, well, you got the Jets in there at 26, but that pick is from Seattle via trade somewhere. Oh, that's probably Jamal Adams.
Oh, is that the Jamal trade?
Yeah, Jamal Adams to the Seahawks from the Jets. So this Jets pick here at 26 is determined on how Seattle does. Exactly the same with that Dolphins pick at 3.
Yeah.
See, the Dolphins have 3 and 18.
Mac is not as mobile as Phil. That is fair and true. I would agree with that. Man. Oh, it's almost it's getting pretty close to midnight. I think I'm gonna end the stream, but I appreciate you guys coming on and talking some sports with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Have a good one, Zach, the Purdue fan. Jeff, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yep. Good.
Roll Tide. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I appreciate everyone for showing up tonight on the stream. Again, Happy New Year to everyone as we're on day 3, 2021. And man, I'm a happy Bucks fan. Clutched a wild card spot. Got a great win today, 44-27 over the Falcons. A lot of drama in these NFL playoffs. This is going to be interesting to watch. The championship is set with Bama and Ohio State. And again, we talked about that earlier in the show. So we will see what happens a week from tomorrow night in that game. I'm going to head out and get some sleep and go to bed. I love all you guys. Hope you have a good night. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe for more sports content right here to Ballard Sports Media. Appreciate all you guys for tuning in. See y'all next time. Have a good night and roll tide roll. Love you guys. We'll see ya.